always say, every day is for the thief, one day for the owner of the house. But ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, has reversed the role. It is now every day for the owner of the house. If you're involved in bribery, over-invoicing, or any shady deal, the day of reckoning has come. ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, is watching you. If you're reported for any corrupt practice, you'll be investigated, prosecuted, and punished. Corruption is harmful to our nation. Join the campaign against it by reporting any corrupt practice to ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Let we join hands with ICPC, make them better.
Let's make Nigeria great again.
ICPC, they watch you.
One hand for corruption.
Break the chain of corruption now. Don't give, don't take. This message is brought to you by ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Good day, viewers, and welcome to this week's edition of Corruption Must Go. I am your host, Murna Barnabas Atiahi. It is no longer news that ICPC, in collaboration with the National Orientation Agency, had in 2019 come up with the National Ethics and Integrity Policy, which was approved by the Federal Executive Council and launched by President Muhammadu Buhari in 2020. Following this approval, the Commission did not rest on its laurels, but commenced a nationwide enlightenment campaign that covered all the 6 geopolitical zones in the country. Today on the program, we shall be looking at a recently held webinar organized by the Commission to engage business membership organizations and professional associations on the core values of the policy and the roles they should play in its promotion. Before we bring you details, let us join Ruth Awodi as she brings us anti-corruption stories. Stay with us.
Thank you for staying with us. I am Ruth Awodi with Anti-Corruption Stories. The chairman of ICPC, Professor Bolaji Owasonye, SAN, has declared that opaque appropriation for constituency projects needed to be regulated by the proposed Constituency Projects Budgeting Provision Bill 2019. Professor Owasonye, who was represented by his Chief of Staff, Dr. Esa Onoja, made the declaration during a one-day public hearing on Fiscal Responsibility Commission Establishment Bill 2020, Constituency Projects Budgeting Provision Bill 2019, and Nigeria's Sovereign Investment Authority Establishment Act CAP N166 LFN 2004 Amendment Bill 2020 in Abuja.
In support of the bill, the Commission has been guided by its work on tracking of constituency projects over the last 2 years. Now, clauses 3 to 5 of the bill deals with the procedure for infusion of constituency projects in the budgets. But the Commission suggests that there should be a needs analysis in the conception and location of such projects to ensure that the needs analysis informs the appropriation committee when it considers proposed constituency projects. The Commission also recommends that vague description of projects has been the bane of constituency projects. Therefore, it is suggested that projects should be adequately described to prevent a situation where switching and changing of the scope of the project by MDAs or aids of sponsors can be avoided. The proposed act should also address the issue of interference. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You should also address the issue of interference after the appropriation has been made by the National Assembly for the project and money released to NDAs.
While declaring the event open, the President of the Senate, Senator Ahmad Lawal, who was represented by the Chief Whip, Senator Oji Uzor Kalu, said that the value-adding potentials of constituency projects should not be undermined because of their ability to foster growth. In another development, the Chairman of ICPC, Professor Bolaji Owasonye, SAN, has stated that the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000, popularly referred to as ICPC Act, is the forerunner of the whistleblower policy in Nigeria. The statement came through the spokesperson for the Commission, Mrs. Azuka Ogugwa, who represented the chairman at a live radio program at Kiss FM Abuja, tagged Town Hall Meetings on Whistleblowing and Whistleblower Protection in Nigeria. Professor Owasonye explained that the ICPC Act in Section 27 gives citizens the right to blow the whistle by reporting corruption to the Commission either orally or in writing. The radio town hall was organized by African Center for Media and Information Literacy in collaboration with Progressive Impact Organization for Community Development, PRIMOG. That will be all on this segment. Corruption Must Go continues with Muna. Stay with us.
Hello Nigerians, are you aware of the National Ethics and Integrity Policy NEIP? The policy takes into account the multicultural composition of Nigeria, and it is designed at restoring public trust and confidence in governance and influence a change of attitude among Nigerians. What can you as an individual do to push the NEIP? You can be accountable and transparent in your dealings in either the public or private sector by upholding the following 7 core values: human dignity, voice and participation, patriotism, personal responsibility, integrity, national unity, and professionalism. Remember to uphold the 7 core values wherever you are and in whatever you do. For more information and inquiries, reach us via the contacts displayed on your screen. This message is brought to you by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC.
Welcome back. Our values represent our personal guiding principles or life goals, which guide our behavior in all aspects of life, including our home, work, and social life. The importance of values lies in their purpose, which is basically to guide our beliefs, attitudes, and behavior. In his opening address at the event, ICPC Chairman Professor Bolaji Owasonye, SAN, who was represented by Honorable Board Member Mrs. Olubukola Balogun, encouraged professional associations to make moves to enforce the ethics of their profession by punishing erring members and rewarding those found to be honest and impeccable. The ICPC board said that the event was aimed at resuscitating the core values contained in the policy, adding that so much was expected from BMOs and PAs as drivers of the economy for the successful implementation and sustainability of the policy.
It is a known fact that the successful implementation and sustainability of this policy depends to a large extent on the readiness of professional associations to uphold and practice the 7 core values contained in the policy in the discharge of their professional responsibilities. For instance, the core values of integrity and professionalism require that professional bodies adhere strictly to the codes of their professional practice with high sense of responsibility. Professional bodies must gather the courage to enforce the ethics of their profession on their members by punishing erring members and rewarding those found to be honest and impeccable. At this juncture, I would like to commend the Council for the Regulation of Engineers in Nigeria that is current and the Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyors for collaborating with the Commission in that regard.
You're still watching Corruption Must Go. Also at the webinar, the Director General, National Orientation Agency, Dr. Garba Abari, in his opening remarks said the event was important as issues surrounding ethics and integrity in the country needed to be addressed. He stated that the impacts of collapsed values not only affected national development objectives, but also affected every aspect of our lives.
This particular webinar is convened specifically for business management organizations. But that is not actually the only stakeholder chunk of our national demography that this the ethics and the integrity policy should actually be directed. It should go to each and every aspect of our national fabric, because the concern about ethical standards in this country, the collapse of ethical standards in this country has become so much that our national development objectives cannot be realized unless we do something, and something urgently to redress this.
To lend their voices to the discussion, we had representatives of the Nigerian Bar Association and Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria.
This national policy on ethics and integrity is a very welcome development. Of course, you know that the Nigerian Bar Association, ethics is one of our very core strengths to ensure that lawyers abide by the code of the profession. And it is quite welcome that, you know, it's now a national policy. While listening to the presentation of the chairman of the ICPC, I gathered that this code has been launched by the president. And I believe that, you know, everyone, including the professional bodies, we will all join hands to ensure that the erosion of ethics and integrity, which of course has risen to a worrisome, you know, level, just as the DG of NOA mentioned, you know, is curbed.
Ethics is one of the things that ICAN prides itself for. If you know, I remind you that ICAN has an in-house investigating panel and a disciplinary tribunal, all in the essence of making sure that ethics are maintained and integrity is also maintained. The motto of ICAN is accountability and integrity. So we're quite happy that we are called upon to be part of this August meeting. We're on all fours with you. And the ICAN president has said that we should tell you that we're going to ensure that integrity is maintained in ICAN as a professional body. We do not allow members to misbehave. You know, accountancy is at the heart of every nation. And when accountants maintain integrity and probity, things work out better.
Corruption can mess up every good thing a nation has. A nation is blessed with every good thing all around. If you and I care, we gonna get there. Just ask me how. It starts from you and I. Make you say no. When they give you bribe or ask you for bribe, make you say no. If you're there for office and tempted to steal, make you say no. We can only kill corruption and greed. Make we say no. Make we say no. Make we say say no. When we say no, when we say no, when we say no.
The technical session was chaired by Honorable Board Member ICPC, Mrs. Hannatu Mohammed. Setting the tone for discussions, she explained that the session aimed to educate the participants on the policy as well as highlight the important roles they play. The policy is aimed at promoting core values of integrity, professionalism, human dignity, patriotism, voice and participation, national unity, and personal responsibility. In his paper presentation titled Overview of the National Ethics and Integrity Policy, lead presenter, Director, Public Enlightenment and Education Department of ICPC, Mr. Muhammad Ashiru Baba, FSI, spoke extensively on the core values and expressed the hope that participants would imbibe them as a way of life so as to minimize corruption drastically.
The policy obligates all Nigerians and everyone who resides within the borders of Nigeria and who relates with the country one way or the other to commit to uphold these core values. The violation of any of these principles is actionable by relevant government agencies, both at the federal and state levels. The principles of the National Ethics and Integrity Policy are to be interpreted in line with the provisions of federal laws and regulations, the Nigerian Constitution, standing rules, and code of conduct of professional bodies, and statutory rules guiding public and private institutions. The policy therefore aims at promoting 7 core values to include human dignity, voice and participation, patriotism, personal responsibility, integrity, national unity, and professionalism. It is the belief of ICPC, the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, and the National Orientation Agency that if we all uphold these 7 core values and invite them as our way of life, very soon there will be fewer people to investigate or arrest and prosecute on the account of corruption. In other words, corruption will minimize drastically.
In her presentation, spokesperson for the Commission, Mrs. Azuka Ogugwa, spoke on work plan and consequence management template of the policy. She informed participants that the template was designed to set benchmarks for the implementation of the policy.
The work plan has been designed and we are working with it, and it has as a way of introduction and as a way of strategy 4 major items: the generic pain points, which are basically those areas that hurt the organizations, the professional associations, and stop them from being people of integrity, adopting anything that could stop them from adopting the policy or implementing the policy in their day-to-day work. And for professional bodies, one of the pain points identified is that clients may not care how you achieve results. All they want to know is that you achieve these results. So this is one of the pain points for professional bodies. This may lead them to compromise. But the generic incentives include that the professional bodies already have their codes of ethics. They require their members to adhere to particular codes. Now, what we are working with you about is to amplify these incentives so that your members will see the need not to bow to their clients' wishes to just do things anyhow, but to bow to the codes of ethics and adhere strictly to the codes of ethics.
Discussing the role of professional associations in the implementation of the policy, CEO Convention on Business Integrity, Mr. Soji Apampa, highlighted how corruption risks could be detected and prevented, while stating that compliance and the ability to get it was in the hands of the association and their members.
So for the first time, it is shifting the burden onto the individual stakeholder organization. And there are benefits to this. It means that compliance and the ability to get something out of compliance is entirely in the hands of the professional association and their members, the business membership organization and their members, rather than waiting for government to do something. It also means that whether there's ICPC or no ICPC, we would have raised the standard of compliance within the professions, whether it is this administration or another administration, that if this is something that we believe is beneficial and the incentives are something that are valuable, we would like to keep, then there is an incentive, a motivation on the part of the professionals as a group, businesses as a group, to say we would like this to continue because we see the benefits to our business environment, we see the benefits to our individual members.
On his own part, the president, Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyors, Malam Mohammed Abator, who spoke through the deputy president, Mr. Olayemi Shonubi, advised professional associations to begin to name and shame erring officers as a deterrent for corrupt persons, as well as hold their members accountable.
In addition to how to also for the implementation, we need the bodies like ICPC, FCC, on every project where there are some actions that are against the ethics. Let them report such erring members to the professional bodies that member is supposed to belong to. And if they don't, if the professional body does not, or they do not act firmly, then go public. I think in Nigeria, I think maybe what we understand basically is the sanctions. It's supposed to be carrot and stick, but a lot of people seems to obey the stick than look towards the carrot, which is unfortunate, quite unfortunate. So if anyone that is caught, you begin to do the shaming bit. The shaming bit in the sense that the company, the individual involved, his name and photograph is published in the newspaper. Maybe then people will begin to take steps to correct because they don't want to be shamed in the public. There's nobody who wants his children or his family members or relations to see either the name of his company or his name or figure paraded on the pages of the newspaper as having been involved in a corrupt practice.
That is the much time will allow us to take today. Remember, you can watch this edition and others on our YouTube channel with the ID ICPC Nigeria. You can also call us on our toll-free number showing on the screen for complaints, suggestions, and feedback on the program. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.